Welcome to your daily writing habit, episode number 167. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book and you're having some challenges finishing it up, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc., I-N-K. You can go to christine-inc.com. Every day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they can actually turn a non-author into one. They are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. The key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering. Bruce Lee. And then, of course, as authors, the second key is writing it down, documenting it in a book. So speaking of that, this week we're talking about book writing at any age, stories, ideas, and the potential impact of writing a book at any age, because book writing truly is an ageless, timeless art. There's no expiration dates. There are 8-year-olds writing books, 18-year-olds, 20-somethings, 30-somethings, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Even I have heard people over 100 years old writing a book. So it's never too early and never too late. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So today is the last day in our series. And if you're looking this up later and you'd like the entire series, Book Writing at Any Age, it would be episodes number 164 through 167. So let's talk about what I call legacy books. At a certain age, usually around retirement, a whole new set of questions arise. And I know this from so many of my clients who are writing from this particular phase in their life. So they ask questions like, how can I give back by sharing what I've learned? How can I document the life I've lived and the lessons it has yielded to improve someone else's future? These are my legacy authors. For the majority, the shape of that written legacy is a memoir, sometimes with twists like personal development models woven in, or sometimes in the form of fiction if it delivers the story more powerfully, or if it's easier sometimes for the author to tell their story as a fiction novel versus, telling it as a straight biography. And the potential impact of a legacy book is lasting and heartfelt. These are the books I've found that impact readers the most deeply and personally. And for me, it's pretty obvious reason for this. And my authors have told me this, and it's a pretty blunt but obvious reason. When you're quite obviously nearing the finish line of life and have little time to lose, it's time to tear the walls down. It's time to tell it like it is and hit people between the eyes so they are absolutely clear on what you're telling them, on the lessons that you're delivering to them, on the messages that you have acquired throughout your life about life. You have this vault of gold inside of you. And you know what? This is the time. You need to tell people, this is what life is. Here's what I've learned. Here are my stories and, what they should do about it. Kind of, here's how the things that I have learned can impact your life. For instance, I have a client, Russell Redenbaugh. He wrote the book Shift the Narrative, and he's planning to expand on that even more. And he has a very strong message about not being a victim in your life. And he also has a message, based on his own personal life about, being blinded and maimed at a young age from a homemade rocketry explosion accident in his backyard. So he has a lesson about how to use trauma as an opportunity. So these are two very powerful things he's learned in his life about not playing the victim under any circumstances in your life, and how to see what he calls the flip side of the coin, the other side of the trauma coin, where you can use it as an opportunity. So shiftthenarrative.com, by the way, if you'd like to learn more about Russell. So that's just one example of a legacy author who has acquired these incredible stories and lessons, and they get to a certain point in their life and say, it is time to give back. It is time to share the knowledge that I have been accumulating all these years. And really, as we saw with Russell's, the most powerful legacy books pull no punches. They tell it like it is. And as I've been saying with all books this week, there's so much crossover between these. So just because I'm talking about this as a legacy book, it doesn't mean you have to be retired to write a legacy book. It doesn't mean you have to be a wonder kid to write a very imaginative children's book. Age is just a number. A 12-year-old can possess the clarity of thinking to figure out a profound life secret and craft it into a legacy book. A 30-year-old, especially a British woman, hint, hint, can concoct a magical, wildly imaginative children's book series that children of all ages can't get enough of for years to come. And then movies and toys and things and all the magic of Harry Potter. So age is just a number. All the phases that I've talked about, again, episodes number was 164 through 167. Find the reason. So not just the age group that happens to match, the age that you are right now, but I would encourage you to re-listen to this series and listen. So kind of put the ages aside, put, that kind of, chronological, logistical information aside, and listen to the reasons and the way I described each of the age groups in the series this week, and see what resonates the most deeply and emotionally with you. Because you could be a 60-something-year-old person, and what I said about why 10-year-olds are writing books, maybe that resonates the best with you. Maybe I was talking about 20-somethings and you're in your 50s, and something I said about why a 20-something would write a book, that resonated with you. So listen for the reasons and find that. When we talk about this, a big theme on your daily writing habit, find your why. Find your why for writing your book and connect deeply with it. No matter how old you are, no matter what your circumstances are, whether you're publishing, self-publishing, traditionally publishing, whether you have a plan of action afterwards, all those kind of things melt into the background until you have that strong emotional why, almost like an umbilical cord that ties you to your book. So for all of you, no matter how old you are, and here's the most important part, if you have found a way to tightrope walk over the pit of personal and professional dragons that got you here at this point in your life, as the foremost expert in surviving your life, you have a story to tell. And I hope you enjoyed my series, and be sure and drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook for motivation, accountability, book writing and publishing resources, and more. Inc. Authors, INK, Authors on Facebook. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I'm helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And if you know someone else who wants to do the same, I would love it if you would let them know about your daily writing habit. Until tomorrow, happy writing.